Yeah, I got bars for him. Got bars for him. Yeah, yeah. I kick with the Mexican flow. That was the flow. Flow. The flow.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Katniss here from the Nitty Gritty.
Yes, sir. Tay Jordan.
And Juan will be calling in live. So, as always, we like to start our show with how was your week? We'll start with you, Tay. How was your week today?
My week was pretty good. I mean, same old typical week for me, you know, putting in the grind. And make sure you guys check out the blackjuice.com. Of course, we got some dope content up. But overall, I had a pretty good week. No complaints.
Good. Lawrence?
My week was...
Well, let's introduce Lawrence first.
Yeah.
You want to introduce Lawrence?
Well, okay, so he goes by LC. He's from Youngstown, Ohio, creative thinker. I've known him through a colleague of mine, and I saw that he was very, very... he had a lot to say about the black community, and I think and really radical. I'll let you go ahead and speak more about what you do and.
I've been in DC for like 3 years. I do spoken word. I'm a children's librarian. I work in Southwest DC with my kids, and that's about it. That's good enough for right now.
Rob.
Rob is you coming a regular right now.
It's
on
like
the,
your third
the
show,
show.
right?
Third show, yeah.
Third
So
show,
they
man.
know who he is.
Of course, well, you don't need another introduction, but you know, a
know.
worldwide Rob.
Yeah,
you know,
I got a lot going on right now, man. Yeah, my week is pretty good. Been working in Connecticut. I got 3 more days there, and then I'm leaving that project. I'm on an IT project up there doing some writing. I just released an article this week on LeBron. Why do people hate him so much? I know me and Shantae, we always talk about that on Facebook, but I wrote an article on it, so that's doing pretty well. And I just signed a new contract for work, so I'm going to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota on the 5th.
yes,
So I'm
you're
pretty
going
excited
to
about
Minnesota
that.
like Jimmy Butler, huh?
Yeah. And yeah, I'm here, and I'm in DC just kicking it with my girl Taylor Ann. She's over there. She's at the show right now, so it's been a good weekend.
Oh, so supportive.
Yes. And Juan, did you want to tell us how your week went?
Man, y'all know me. It's J.D. Costa. My week is always breezy, always good. Hated that 12-hour drive here to Tennessee, but it was worth it to see the fam. So no complaints here. Everything is good, and I'm happy to be calling in, still a part of the show. You feel me?
Okay, so we'll keep it moving. So to hell with people robbing and killing just because. I think it's really whack. To hell with DC traffic. I'm absolutely just tired of sitting in my car for a long period of time, and I'm not really going anywhere.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Take the metro.
To hell with arguments via social media. My whole thing is you got them Twitter fingers, but what you do in real life? Are you really about that life that you speak about via social media? Probably not. To hell with jobs not giving enough vacation time off. 10 days is just absolutely not enough time, and we need more time off. I need to be able to decompress. A 9 to 5 is quite difficult. So, and to hell with stubborn fat, just chilling on your lower back. Because it's summertime and you want to be able to wear cute stuff. And I don't know about the rest of you ladies, but I know for me, I've got to work that back situation out. Because I got to be able to look fly in the clothes that I wear. And Anybody else have any to
What
hell
about
whips?
arguments though? Arguments on Facebook is fun though.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what? I think you learn a
That shit is
lot,
fun.
you know, arguing
You know
on
how I do.
Facebook.
Okay.
Like, as long as
constructive sometimes.
it's ethics to it. As long as
Yeah.
you do, you know, you be respectful about it. I think it can, you know, can be mutually.
No, I just like
beneficial.
putting up stuff and then letting y'all rock.
Just
I had like
agitate
600,
people.
600 comments on my joint the other day. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
sometimes
crazy.
I go
That
back
was
and
crazy.
read a thread that I posted. And it just goes on without me. Like, people
Yeah,
be
that's what I'm
commenting.
saying. I
I'm
just
like,
put it on there.
I'm
Yeah,
just
you
here for
come
the
back later
comments.
and be like, damn,
Hey,
what happened?
no, people are full one-on-one arguments, 3-on-3 arguments. It's
And
crazy,
it'd be
man.
like, I don't even be expecting for the conversation to go left how it does sometimes. Sometimes you just post something to initiate, like, Discord, and it just goes so left. And it's like, whoa, wait, y'all, no name calling.
Right.
That happened to me today, but I like trolled my own comment. Like I was egging them on, like, oh, you gonna let us say that? Like, this is crazy. And I was just being an asshole. But it
That's
was
funny.
entertaining.
That's like the one thing about social media and arguing on social media. You know when you trolling and when you being an asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
That's true.
Yes. It's an art. It's an art.
Blessings to life, generosity, hustlers, and Power coming back on. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Power. So as soon as I leave the studio, I'm going home to watch episode 1.
anybody watching the BT Awards tonight?
Oh, I didn't even know that was on.
I'll probably catch the reruns. I gotta catch a flight.
You know it's
so
gonna rerun
It's
about
gonna,
once,
it's gonna be reruns all the time.
I won't
2.2
be able to
times a
watch
day.
tonight, but I'll see it probably tomorrow.
So we're gonna jump right into it. So today's topic is critiquing Black leaders, and does leadership help dictate and or change mindset? So if you can go ahead, Crosby, and roll that first video for us, we'll just jump right onto it.
For some, the damage was broken windows and busted storefronts. For other business owners, the riots left them with nothing.
I just need some help. I didn't expect this to even happen. I didn't expect this. Nobody expected this.
John Thomas is talking about the fire that burned the Mary Harvin Senior Center to the ground. His business so close by, he says the flames torched the vehicles and warehouse he uses for his 8-year-old hauling and demolition company. He says when he got here that night, it was the worst thing he had ever seen.
I'm here because this is all I have, and no one ever talked with me about anything about this. I've been trying to reach out to people, but no one said anything back to me as far as, me trying to, get my truck, so it's nothing back.
Thomas says he's been exploring his options since the day after the fire. Since having major surgery 4 months ago, told by his doctor to take a year off, Thomas says he canceled his insurance as his business was on standby in the meantime.
My dad bought a house 25 years ago on the same street that I live on now. And I chose within the past 6 months to turn this house into a community center for the neighborhood. After it's been broken into numerous times and it needed a lot of work and whatnot, so I've been over there putting in hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And today I came across the people that's been breaking in there. This is what they did to me. This is what they did to me. Right here, right here, right here. I want to do something good for my people. Tired of struggling. Sick of it. Just trying to do the best that I can for my people. And this is my dog, Joni. She's helping me get through this.
Oscar.
Okay, so both of those videos were to show, there was one man, I guess due to the riots up in Baltimore, they went ahead and burned down his business, so therefore he lost his business, lost everything. And then there was that young brother who was just speaking, and he basically was saying his dad had a house and he turned it into a community center, and the community were robbing the center, and one day he caught them and they ended up literally jumping him. So he kept saying in the video, like, I didn't know at one time, but then I realized. So the question is, when you're woke, do you see things differently? And when you see things differently, does that make you have is there an expectation whereas you won't attack your fellow neighbor or you value someone who looks like you, or that's not necessarily the case? I'm just opening the floor up to anybody.
You mean woke as in conscious?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
when you're a conscious African American person, you're not going to be out here looking to rob or steal. Like, you're looking to make progress, but you're still aware of what's going on out here, and you're not exempt from being robbed or hurt, which is unfortunate, man. But I honestly don't know what can be done in our community about it, man. I mean, we could just help ourselves and our fellow man, our family, but I mean, the element out here is just so far gone nowadays. I just don't know what to do. I mean, I talk to my father about this. I feel like I talk to my father about this on the phone every week. So I do a lot of traveling, and he's just like, every city you go to, just look at the inner city, just look at the downtown area. Every Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard is just messed up. And it's just sad. No, I mean, for real.
No,
Think
it's
about
real.
it. I even went to Omaha, Nebraska 2 years ago for work, and you know what I'm saying? That city was still messed up. Our people just, the state of our people in the inner city is just crazy to me. Like, it just, we don't, I know some of us want better, but then some of us just don't want better for ourselves. It's just, it's sad, man.
Well, I think aside from race, sometimes race can be synonymous with economics. I think when you're looking at poverty, it's a reflection of hopelessness. And I think, like, you know, people hurt people that's closest to them. Like, there's a lot of white on white crime, but it's not promoted as such. I think that it's easy for a black man to rob another black man, or a black person to do something negative to a person that's in close proximity to them. That just makes sense. But in terms of the so-called woke, I think that, of course, you know, we're not going out trying to rob, steal, or anything like that. But I think those that are doing these things, those are not the people that's woke. Those are the people that's, you know, doing down bad. And, like, it can be a lack of education. It can be a lack of resources. And it can be, like I said, a reflection of hopelessness. So I think a lot of times we try to criticize the symptoms, but not actually look at the root of the symptoms, which I think is a lack of resources, a lack of education, and a lack of access. So I think that it's easy for us to be like, oh, you know, we don't value ourselves. You know, we don't value black businesses. You know, his dad created a community center, and, you know, people that in the community, which it was built for, they turned on him and robbed him and jumped his son, which is an unfortunate thing that happened. But at the end of the day, it's a reality of the situation in the atmosphere that a lot of people in these inner cities we live in. And that's just, how can it change? I guess, you know, obviously we don't get into black leader talk, but we got a long way to go. But it's something that happens, and it's just the reality of the situation. It's unfortunate. I don't know what he meant to get from his video. I think he should have probably, you know, cleaned himself up first.
I mean, that was just,
because at that point, it's like you're looking for sympathy.
Outburst,
like people get, and I hate to sound insensitive, but like
crazy,
people
bro.
get they lip busted every day, son. You do that on a park, and it's like that.
He just wanted a reaction.
Yeah, you can't blame it on the whole community and just the bigger. Yeah, well, I mean, it has something to do with it, but I think he just played into like the negative stereotypes.
Yeah, and it's like I hate when we do that.
What did he say? He said the community did this.
Yeah, it's like, bruh.
Yeah, it wasn't a community. It was
a
like
couple people,
dudes.
man, yeah.
And they are not a reflection of the whole.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens. I think that a few bad apples can definitely ruin the entire what is perpetuated in media. So a lot of times people might see this situation of like, oh man, you know, the hood, they just jump everybody, which is not the case. Like Tay just said, there are some hood people, hood white people, there are some hood Asian people. But I do want to talk about poverty and mindset, because at the end of the day, you said that if they were woke, maybe they would not have done that. And one thing I know about poverty is I feel like poverty is a mindset more than it is financial, you know, game. Because I know some people who come to this country with nothing, and they're just so happy to be here for the opportunity to be in America and the opportunity to advance, that they don't even consider themselves poor.
But foreign mindset is not the same as the African American mindset, so we can't really compare the two. I don't think.
But mindset is mindset. Either you got it or you don't.
Let me say something about that.
Mindset is rooted in the foundation as well, though.
Because everybody else can come over to America and, you know, pull their resources together, from Indians, Pakistan, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Everybody else can come in here and make money and pull their resources together. We can't. Why? Why can't we do it?
Lawrence, what you think?
I'm just thinking about this incident that happened with me, and it was something about it was something similar to dude getting jumped. I ain't get jumped, but like I'm in youth development, so I deal with kids all the time, and I just posted it, and it caught like people was like, what are you talking about? So anyways, about 2 weeks ago, I had a kid. I work in the library. I had a kid in the library. He's on my floor. He was a teen. He's supposed to be upstairs. I was telling him I was trying to move him out, but he got a little hype. His little girlfriend was pulling him back, like, no, and he's like, let me. So I'm standing in front of him, like, dude, she's not holding you back. Like, you're stronger than her. If you wanted to fight me, you fight. So he talked all that shit. Come outside. I ain't coming outside. You gotta leave. That's it. Then he spit in my face, right?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Kid or no kid.
So
we would have had to hit hands.
yeah, so I snapped in the moment and everything. I chased his little ass. Can we cuss in here?
No, I mean, you good.
Okay, so I chased his little ass out. But then, like,
I ain't gonna stop your flow.
Yeah, so he eventually got kicked out, and he's talking reckless when he went outside, but he went away, called the cops, and then the cops followed up with me like a couple days ago. But this is a situation that I had in Cleveland also. It was a little incident with a kid, and then they just caused trouble because they don't have anything to do. Yeah. So now they got kicked out of the only place they welcome to, and it's an opportunities problem. So I always like to talk about solutions. So the solution I did in Cleveland, which I'm going to do here, is I made a peace offering. So I took the kid that was in Cleveland and was causing trouble. He's still outside the library, like cussing up a storm, just acting crazy. I was like, yo, come here. I'm going to take you to the store. I'm going to get you something to drink. I'm going to get you a little piece of food, some candy, a snack, whatever you want. And then we're going to start there. So while I'm walking him to the store, I'm just rapping with him like, yeah, we just got to deal with each other with respect and everything. And I get him some food. Now he feeling good because he eating. Now he listening to me, because most of the time, like when we have these problems, like dude made that video, but like most of the people that talk shit about those incidents, they be like, oh man, these kids are crazy and they don't want to do that, but they don't never do anything towards the solution. Right. So this is an idea towards the solution. So now like I have a whole bunch of teens in this area that are causing trouble. Same thing. It's always an incident somewhere, but I'm gonna do a peace offering with them. I'm gonna take them. Like, go to the store, we gonna get them all something, then I'm gonna be able to rap with them, then I can gain respect, because most of the time, like, the problem is, I was telling my coworker, like, I've been here for like 3 years, and the only communication I've had with the teens, mostly the troublemakers, is like, don't do that, sit down, get out, you're bored, like all this negative stuff. So there's never been any positive reinforcement, and most of the time the teens go somewhere like they don't get anything positive. They always get kicked out, or they're not supposed to be here, they're not supposed to be doing that. So like we have to start talking about how we deal with our own problems. And I talked about this before, but like we don't always need to call the police to fix our problems. Like we got to come up with ways to fix our own problems, because the police come in here and you see what happens. Like we got all of these cases where there's murders and all this crazy shit going on, but like they're on the outside, they don't really care about our community. If we care about our community, we got to take our responsibility back. That's real. So this is an idea. It's called a peace offering, but this is an idea that I'm implementing here as well. Like, and it's gonna play out in the next couple of weeks. And my coworker he was like, that's a good idea, and we're gonna buy like a bulk of snacks and everything, because they bored, like they done already messed up. You know what I'm saying? They don't deserve anything. But like if we keep telling them no and don't give them anything, then they just gonna be dysfunctional. So it's
all the kids have seen their whole life is negativity.
Yeah, right.
Parents, if they have parents, you know what I'm saying, or if 9 times out of 10 they ain't have a father around, they had the mother. And it's just crazy, man. So like a kid or a teen's mind is always impressionable. You can always reach them 9 times out of 10. Now an adult, that's gonna be tougher.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to fix a broken adult.
It's easier to raise strong kids than what it is to fix broken.
Yeah. But what about the scenarios in which people are dying though? Like, okay, so one thing that sometimes I get frustrated with is that when the police from somebody outside of the community shoots a black person down, we support the mom and she gets on social, they support her on media, whatever. But then what about the mothers that lose their sons to just regular in the street? They don't get that same support.
They
so
get
it's like
support. 9 times out of 10, the culprit and the shooter would go to prison. So we can.
That's not always the case.
No, it's not always the case. But
that doesn't stop the problem though.
It doesn't stop the problem.
Every time I go home to Cleveland, I hear about somebody else dying. You know what I'm saying? I was just home 2 weeks ago for the finals. Heard about a dude trying to stop a fight on the basketball court. I forget what street it was, but got killed for it. You know what I'm saying?
My homeboy know about that.
You know what I'm talking about? You got to stop trying to break up a fight on the basketball court, end up losing your life. Like, it's just crazy. Like, it's just. I don't know.
I think Juan, you had something to say?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that subject, I believe that part of it is we glorify a tough guy behavior, especially if we look at the media, music, rap music. I don't have a problem with hip hop, but I do know that there's tones in rap music specifically. I like to divide the two that promotes that kind of atmosphere where kids feel like they got to knuckle up first, or it's all like, yo, get my gun, let's bang this. And I feel like when it comes to reaching to our youth, we should try to go to those people who are influencers. So if you influence people, let's try to get them people to change that voice. Because I can't change a bunch of young people in the hood, but I can change what the media is saying towards them. And I think that's why it's important to have shows like this, because we add voice to that.
Yeah.
So let me say this about solutions to kind of tag along with what you were saying, but this and you were talking about the topic is leadership, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's in terms of leadership, like everyone, sometimes too many of us think that, oh, there needs to be a leader that just needs to point us in a direction, and as opposed to us thinking we're all leaders,
We're
like
all leaders.
individually, like, and you need to be thinking, all right, what am I gonna do as an individual leader? Like, what am I gonna take the initiative and do to help my community in any way I can, like whatever your lane is, you know what I'm saying? Get in the lane and drive it, like, basically. But it's too many people that just be looking for leadership and not under, like, I think that leadership concept is flawed.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
we always looking for like a Malcolm X or MLK.
Savior or something
Yeah,
like,
but
yeah.
it didn't even work like that in their time. You know
It's
what I'm
not
saying?
ever
Like, it
gonna
was a
work
whole
like
bunch
that.
of people that was all hands on deck, and they
Right.
was participating, they was doing their part. And that's what made like MLK and that's what made them all who they were, because they had a whole bunch of people that bought into, okay, it's my responsibility to contribute in some kind of way.
Right.
And then they did that. But it's too many people now that just like romanticize the stories and everything, just be like, I'm just waiting for somebody on a podium, you know what I'm saying, that's charismatic to tell me to go left and then make a right. You know what I mean? It just don't work
Yeah.
like
Can
that.
I say something about that? Man, honestly, man, and y'all might think I'm like crazy for saying it. That's probably our biggest problem in the black community. Looking for somebody to, sure, we need a leader, but looking for somebody to like save us. Like, come on, man. Like Jay-Z, LeBron, anybody else, like, y'all looking for them to like step up or give money. Like, nah, I mean, we all gotta do our part. Sure, they could do, LeBron's doing his part. Sure, Jay-Z's doing his part, I'm sure, but what about all the rest of us? Like, we can't just look at them like, oh, they got to do it because they got all the money, they got all the resources. Like, that's fine, but what you gonna do?
But even with the rest of us, so let's use for example. So let's say, for instance, Mikey is the barbershop man, right? He gives jobs out to the young little dudes in the hood. Mikey gets shot up. Jobs are now gone. The young little dudes, they don't have any source of income at this point, and now the only father figure that they had is now gone. It's the implications of these situations that happen, and it affects everybody in the community. I don't think we realize that. So yeah, we're helping one, but it affects everybody. It's like a cycle. Furthermore, I feel like it starts with parenting. I am not a parent yet, but I feel like if you are a parent, you have a responsibility to pour into your child. We can't blame the media and say the media is feeding my kid. You are a parent first. So it's up to you to help your child get exposed to different things, whether it's music, whether it's swimming lessons, whether it's putting them in a position to meet a mentor. You as a parent have a responsibility. So when your child gets caught up in, I don't know, the cycle of the hood or whatever, I can't really blame the hood all by itself, because as a parent, you should be more involved.
It does start with your parents, man.
So
I can agree with that.
It does. argue with that.
I want to extend. Okay, so this is a concept. I went to Cameroon. What was that, like 2 years ago now? Went to Cameroon and I learned this concept when I was there, and I try and share it with people, all the time. But basically, when I went there, I was guesting somebody's house. Like, my friend took me over there, so I was guesting his friend's house, and they treated me like family. So the kids, they all just automatically called me uncle, which was strange to me, But even more strange than that, which is because I'm not used to it. Like, when I was walking down the street, I was randomly walking down the street, just sightseeing and all that kind of stuff, passing a kid on the street, and he called me uncle. He's like, "Hey, uncle," like just a greeting, you know what I'm saying, in passing. But I say that to say, like, the concept that they have over there is like extended family, so everybody's uncle, or these are my nieces and nephews. So that makes you more responsible and accountable for everyone. So I work in youth development, and let's say, I don't want to give a percentage, but let's say half. 50% of the time, the parents is irresponsible for whatever reason. You know, like it might be some like their own issues, it might be drugs, it might be something crazy that they dealing with, or they just might not give a fuck. Like it could be whatever. But the point is, like, if you understand this concept of how I wasn't supposed to cuss. The point is, if you understand this, if you understand this concept of family, like, you know, like my understanding, like I knew this before I went over there, but when I left Cleveland, like I have like over 100 nieces and nephews in Cleveland. Like every time I see a kid and I see them and I can impart some information onto them, like, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I saw some kids at the CVS and they was just loud and obnoxious and cussing and all this kind of stuff, and it wasn't the right setting. So I pulled them to the side and I was respectful. I was like, look, y'all in a public place. Y'all shouldn't be cussing like that because it makes you look ignorant, you know? So I just said it respectfully, and then they just chilled out, and that was it. But if everybody takes that role and they take that responsibility, then I think it'll help the whole community. But most of the time, people point to, like, they ain't doing their job, they ain't doing it. But we all need to just get in that lane. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you see that opportunity, and you don't even have to be in youth development. You're just going to be an aunt or uncle at one point. You know what I'm saying? When you see a kid and they being reckless, just be respectful. Because most of the time, adults will come to them and they be like, look, you little... some or other, do this, do it, and you don't, and that's just disrespectful. You're not supposed to talk to humans like that. You're just supposed to be respectful. So if you come to them respectfully, like, yo, can you come over here? Let me talk to you, and then just break some stuff down. It'll minimize a lot of crazy stuff that's happening. So, everybody do that.
Right. So I agree that a communal effort would definitely be very, very helpful to the community, but I don't think it's realistic. I just don't think it's realistic for us to expect us to all be on one accord and to treat each other with respect, because I mean, hence the videos and hence what's going on in real life. It's just not realistic. That's not
if it's not realistic,
solution.
then we need to silence our criticism. Then one thing that really annoys me is that when bad things in our communities happen, it's always people that's so quick to broadcast it, and it's like, oh, see, the community this, these kids this, that, and it's like, what are you doing to fix the problem? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So if people feel like it's not realistic to get on one page and to help the youth and to stop the negativity that's going on, then, you know, people need to be quiet about it. But Lawrence, getting back to what you said, I do think that we do need to take accountability and each have some type of responsibility to our fellow man in our community, especially the youth in particular. I think that what you're saying is ideal, but I think a lot of people don't speak up out of fear. Because I know, like, say for instance, like, ride on the metro sometimes, and it'd be like, you know, kids just getting out of school, and it's a group of them, and they so loud and obnoxious. And it's like, you know, you gotta let kids be kids, but at the same time, my mom taught me home training, you know, right. Whereas they reflect that they didn't so much either didn't learn or they didn't take heed. Right. So it's like, what do I do as a person? And what you're explaining, which was ideal, I should speak up and say, hey, you guys, there's some elderlies on this train. You guys mind stop the foul language? Can you like chill out a little bit? You're in a public place. That would be ideal to say, right? And I should take that responsibility. Yeah, but
that kid might go off.
Exactly.
And they might end up shooting you.
And that's exactly. The real things reality. That we're dealing with. And I think what that fear has turned a whole bunch of like fearful people walking amongst in their community. Like, I got so upset. I was walking down the street with one of my I won't even say she's a friend, but like we cool or whatever, and we were walking from brunch, and like it was broad daylight, and she made the comment like, girl, let's go on the other side of the street. I ain't gonna say what she said, but basically she was like, she didn't want to walk on the same side of these group of black men that were coming on the same side of the street. Now, they were like sagging their pants or whatever, but I knew she was black. And it's like, that had really messed me up and pissed me off, because it's like, it's not even that it's non-blacks that stereotype us. It's like, we stereotype ourselves. Man. So it's like, now, did these men fit his description? Did these men, those type usually are the type to rob you, take your purse? Like, I didn't understand why she wanted to switch sides of the streets. I mean, I feel like a lot of us do that. Like, a lot of us feel so fearful that it's like, you know, I'm not going to say nothing. Or it's like, well, he go get me too or she go get me too, and it's like that's not none of that is helping. None of that is.
Well, I'm what you just said sounds sensible. Like I mean I might have crossed the street too. Like it just depends on the situation. Like
No,
but let me
man,
no,
that's
no,
not
no,
fair.
Hold on.
And you said
Hold
that
on.
it was a black man.
No. You gotta listen. You gotta be. It depends on the situation. If
Yeah.
I size up a situation, and then sometimes you can tell when some people like I can tell when there's like negative energy. Like I ride the
that's
metro
fair.
all the time. Like I've been on the metro,
Yeah, you
and
feel
then I
the
just
vibes.
felt this negative vibe, and all of a sudden I look back and this dude is running off with somebody's phone. Like, and then she tries
see, I
somebody
don't be
got
around.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so you could tell when you need to. You got to be vigilant and everything. But to the example I was given, let me clarify that a little bit. I'm not saying there's age limits, right? I was talking to like preteens, like little kids. They more impressionable. I'm not talking about talking to some 17-year-olds that already. I mean, if they don't.
Is they out of touch because they need guidance as well.
No, they
but-
do, but
that's straight.
it's a different method that you do with older people and adults than you do with younger. With younger people, I'm saying you can go up and talk to the younger kids, like the preteens and stuff like that, as long as you're respectful. But then with older people, like if you can give them lip service, but if you're not really helping them, like I was giving an example with like the peace offering, like to the older teens, like I'm gonna give you something. I'm just not gonna tell you something because people telling them something, but that's not really helping my situation. Like you giving me this advice, I don't know what to do to that. You know what I mean? But younger kids are more impressionable. You could do that, but I wouldn't say do that to like some 17, 18 year olds.
I think most of us.
Y'all remember that Cameron interview with like Dame Dash and Bill O'Reilly, and like Cameron made a good point. He was just like. The dude's Salome Thomas L, the principal, he was like, how do you feel about your lyrics and how it affects these kids? And Cam was just like straight up like, that's cool, but you got to talk to their parents. Like, it starts at the home, man. If your home is messed up, man, you do not have a chance out here.
No, that's not fair. to
Man,
say.
it's
I'm with-
9 times out of 10,
yes.
you might reach 1 out of 10. In our community, in the black community, you might reach 1 out of 10. But if they parents
I wouldn't put numbers on that. Black people resilient.
Or the grandma, grandpa.
It might be 2 out of 10.
If they get, yeah, if you got somebody like that, man, like it's hard, man. It starts at the home, like whether it's your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, somebody got to get a hold of you.
And I agree with you. And I
Before
think,
the police do.
And I think,
Right.
And I
Lights
think
out.
a part of the solution for me, a part of the solution is us really taking the veil and ripping it apart and getting naked with each other and being all the way real about the issues that are in our community. Number one, many of us have mental health issues. Period. Point blank. We're dealing with
PTSD,
Y'all
man.
crazy.
Hey,
No,
people-
seriously,
we all do.
Seriously, we have
Hey,
mental health
people got
issues.
problems, man. You would never know.
And then they never want to go and go seek help. That's number
Yeah.
one. Number two, many black young kids have been molested. And no one has addressed it.
man.
So these are the problems I'm talking about. When we
Many?
criticize,
That's a
Many
whole
is
nother
a-
show, right?
no,
That's
no,
a
no,
big
no,
word.
no,
Nah,
many.
Many.
Many is many. Is that majority though?
No, that's not. That's not.
Hey, we ain't say
He said,
majority.
I didn't say no.
We
He
said
said
many.
So why
many.
not say
There's
some?
a lot.
No, many.
No, it's many.
It's
I
many.
would agree with
I
many.
got family members.
It's
you know,
facts.
That don't
There's-
mean it's above
Facts.
50%, but
there's
it's a lot.
there's data out
Okay.
there that proves it. So for me, when I talk, I get a little offended because people always come at me like you being hard, you being no better than the white racist. No, I'm the kind of person where I'm a realist. I keep
Yeah,
it
you being
100
real, yeah.
every single day. We got some serious issues, and it starts at home. So
At
when you
home.
get your home life together, and when you get your mindset together,
You see your mom
then
and
we can
dad,
start
like-
talking about real solutions.
So
But when
what
you
if the
got your-
home never gets together?
If you-
What happens
I
to
don't know
those
what to
kids?
tell you. You a lost cause.
Exactly.
I can't help
If
you.
you seeing
I can't
dysfunction-
help you.
You
That's
seeing
where the aunts and
dysfunction
uncles
for your
come in.
mom, dad. You seeing
Yeah, the aunts and
dysfunction every
uncles.
day.
That's where the
You wanna
community
reflect
comes
that
in.
at
It
school.
takes
I
a
can't
village
help
to
you.
raise a child, and see
Hey.
that's what I get back to. I can't highlight and put emphasis on that enough. We don't have responsibility to each other. That's like things like Tamir Rice and what's his name, Castile.
Castile,
Little things
yeah.
like that can happen, and we turn the other cheek, or we might tweet about it and make statuses about it for 72 hours, and then we on with our day-to-day lives. We really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? We don't care enough. If it's not something that's hurting me and mine and my people, it's like, well, sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate, but life goes on. And I think we need to. So when I hear things like, well, your home life needs to be this, or you a lost cause, we can't tell that to a kid. Like, well, if his parents,
it's a lot of
it's
kids
some
like that,
crackheads,
Hey,
you can't be
well,
writing off
just
all
a
them
lost
kids,
cause.
man.
So if he a
I
lost
know
cause,
you-
that's why they go to
I
prison.
know you
at
want to
age
save
18.
Shantae. I know you want to save the world.
No, but if we
Kumbaya,
not gonna-
man. But that's real. feel
If
me?
we
You know
not
what I'm
going to
saying?
try
That's
to
real,
help,
man.
then we
can
need
try
to all be shut up about it and stop complaining. Don't be pointing the finger and like, oh, you ain't.
can try.
But we try to help.
We
but
can try.
no, if you're not ready to
You
receive,
already got a defeated mentality when you saying, well, if you don't come from a good household,
ain't
then you
defeated.
no, it's not
That
a
ain't
defeated.
my
got a defeated. See, that's
It's,
what I'm saying.
it's not a defeated mentality, but it's like
That ain't my family,
if
man.
someone is
Straight up.
trying, if someone is
Hey.
pouring into you, right, and you're saying, young man, you know, you need to do this, and they cussing you out and acting with
Yeah.
But
aggression.
why? Get to the why. He ain't doing that for fun. He ain't doing that just because
Hey,
it's cool.
I ain't got time to get
We
to
got-
the
yeah.
why.
And to your
If I
point,
see-
you was
Yeah,
talking
I ain't
about
got time to
like
get to the why.
all this sexual abuse and everything. People might be defensive for
But they're
reasons
not going
you
to
don't
tell.
know.
They're not going
Kids
to.
act
I mean,
out for reasons.
they might tell me, but they might not tell me. And the reality is,
Yeah, and if they're defensive, but you checking them off just because you saying you trying to help them and then they being disrespectful, but they have those issues like you were saying, like you were pointing out, like everybody got these issues and we need to talk about this stuff, but you got to break through those barriers. And the problem is we have to figure out how to break through those barriers to like make the connection so we can actually help people. But like
this is
what's
true,
real
and
is a
that
lot of white
requires
people got messed up
patience.
mentalities.
And
Like,
I just personally
you
do
just
not
don't
have the
it.
patience.
That's cool. That's cool.
So
I
That's
got
the
it.
honest truth.
So for
I work
people
with
that don't
kids,
have
so-
no
Honest
patience-
truth.
Look,
people that don't have those patience, they just need to be quiet then.
If I try to help you, you know what I'm saying? If I pull you to the side, I try to help you, and then you still do the same shit over and over, I'm gonna chuck the deuce to you.
A kid though, a
Yes.
kid.
Peace.
Peace.
A kid.
I can't.
Well, you know what's gonna happen.
All right, but then you ain't supposed to be in youth
Officer
development. I
Palmer
got it.
gonna
Don't
come
even
in.
worry about it.
He gonna get his ass straight.
I'm not in youth
You
development.
gotta worry about it
Because-
that's
because-
cool.
but
That's
back-
cool.
no,
Everybody got their lane.
But back to your point though,
I'm gonna
if
try to
it's
do
one thing if you're like a 10-year-old, but if you're a 17-year-old, in my
Yeah.
mind, you've already kind of
That's
got
what I'm talking
got
about,
your
a
own
teenager.
He been
mindset.
misguided for 17 years, so who
15
gonna
and
come
up.
in and guide him?
I can't do that. I mean,
You
I'm
might
not the
be able to clean it
savior.
up in
I'm
a-
not there
in
for
a
So
that.
month.
if you can't do that, so why would anybody open up? If a person that can't do that, why would they open their mouth to?
Yeah,
complain
don't say
about
they
it?
lost. You saying you don't have the
Listen,
skill
listen.
set to do that.
Listen, it's a mind. Look,
Don't
here's
check them off.
So if you can't give a
here's the
solution,
thing.
don't
Here's
give no
the thing.
criticism.
No. Here's the thing. It's a mindset because like LeBron came from a drug addict mama.
Exactly.
LeBron daddy went in the house, but his mother at least had enough sense to say, you know what, I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna put you.
I'm gonna put you with Frankie's. I'm gonna put you with Frankie's parents.
Yep, I'm
You
gonna
know
put you
what
with
I'm saying?
somebody
I'm gonna
else
let
who
you
can
go over
guide you. And now LeBron is married to his baby mama,
So
3
my
kids.
question is, if
So,
a parent don't do that, what happens to the
I
kid?
don't know. I don't have the solutions. I
Gets
have
killed
no
or
idea.
he
Look,
go
look,
kill
all right,
somebody.
LeBron was fortunate to live with Frankie Walker for a couple years to his mom. You know
You're
what
not
I'm saying?
talking
Got
about
it.
these anomalies.
Yeah, man.
You talking about realness.
But it
We
happened.
talking about all the other cases.
Yeah,
like,
but
hey,
listen,
y'all like,
it
that's life.
happened.
That's life.
Hey, listen. All
Unfortunately,
this is what
is
Tay
we dealing
said.
with.
Uh,
So
Juan-
the kid
Juan
you
said-
gave
Juan
up on
wanna
will
say
probably be the
something.
kid that robbed you.
Well, I want to say something. Go
All
ahead.
right. All right, look. So real quick about the whole lost causes. I wouldn't say that nobody's a lost cause, but I used to be a medic in the Army. Now we triage. If you have a paper cut, I could let you sit off to the side a little bit. I'll get to that when I do. But if you're bleeding, if you have a serious like a gut wound that I can still save, I'm gonna try to take care of you because you're savable. But there's some people. If I see brain matter, if you've been shot in your head, I'm gonna put you in the corner. We'll pray for you. Whatever we believe in, we hope for the best.
Bingo, Juan.
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
The thing is, and this is medical. Don't tell me how to do the job because I've done it. You haven't. So if you got brain matter seeping out your head, I can't help you at that point.
He needs the
Those
most
who are
help.
vulnerable, Our young people,
Nah, I
hold
think
up,
Beyonce
our
saved
young
him, though.
people,
That's not.
telling people how to properly invest their money that want to, that's where we should focus our attention. I'm sorry, you may not like it, but poor people, whether they black, white, Hispanic, outside of this country,
We not talking
so
about
they
all
can be
them.
living on the moon. Poor mindsets have poor mindsets. And what you do is you hope for the best while saving those that can be saved.
That's a horrible.
Don't
That's a
waste
poor
your
Wait,
time.
mindset.
hey,
Now let me
check-
bring
check
this
it out,
together.
check it
Hold
out,
on, let me
check it
bring
out,
this
check it
together because I agree with what he said and say like, what is he talking about? But I agree. I would apply that to adults. Like when you a grown person and you made up your mind that you just gonna be raggedy and ratchet or whatever, then there's nothing. That's the person
And
with
those
their
people have
brain
kids.
blown
Look,
out.
look,
hold
look.
on. But not. I'm talking.
No,
But
I'm
the
not
youth,
saying disconnect
they
the
still
kids.
have.
The
They
kids
still have
are
a chance.
savable.
You saying that for youth?
No, when it comes to youth, right? That's why we should put our money in programs for young people. but I'm saying
Not
younger,
17-year-olds,
like,
though.
I'm talking about like 15 and younger, because by 16
15
and
is the
17,
cutoff.
whatever has influenced them up to
15.
that point is going to be the deciding factor. I've seen it personally in my own family members. Once they get to that age of 16, 17, my own family members weren't savable.
What?
So then,
All right,
Facts.
so that's some
Facts.
examples. But
Facts,
that's not
Juan.
every
That's my own
example.
family.
But I agree with you to a point. What you're saying is you should put more of your efforts and energy into the youth, the younger, so that they can develop more, healthy, stable psyches and all that kind of stuff. And then at a certain point, it's just harder to convince people to change and all that kind of stuff. So that makes sense.
I think
Exactly.
we
You
are
give them
to
the same
blame.
way
The
you follow
community.
that day, you don't give them no more blood.
But remember, at the end of the day, everybody's an individual person.
Yes.
You all make your
Okay.
individual
Make
decisions.
decisions. Yes.
I don't want to hear about.
You talking
none
about
of that shit.
9-year-olds?
I don't want to hear about. When I was 9, I was making my own decisions, man. I was staying home by myself.
Let's
Playing
not take away.
basketball, going to
Let's not
practice,
take away the
going to
role of
practice,
your
had to
mom
keep
and your
to the crib.
stepfather, Rob. Like,
Hey,
let's not do
I
that.
turned out great.
Let's
turned
not
out
act
great.
like you didn't have a strong foundation.
I don't turn out. I ain't have a strong foundation. Flat out. We want to get into that right now.
So
Let's get into that right now. But you know what I'm
But
saying?
you ain't have a strong
Rob, you had it
foundation.
hard.
But somebody kept working
I
with
was
you.
From
by
South
myself.
Euclid.
I made decisions for myself from age 9 to
Okay,
now.
look, at the end
Somebody
of the day,
helped you.
Nobody held
Hey
my
man,
hand.
what? You
Nobody
said
held
nobody
my
helped
hand.
you?
Nobody held my hand. They told me right.
I don't
or
know what
wrong,
that mean.
But nobody held my hand. Like, oh, do this, do this. No, I
But-
made my own
Rob, you
decisions.
raised yourself.
Nah, somebody
I was
helped
all
you.
by myself.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
fine.
raise
But
yourself?
somebody helped you.
It's a bunch of latchkey
Nobody's
kids.
allowed.
You was a
Okay, I had a
latchkey
house to
kid.
live in and stuff like that, but I cooked for myself. I was home by myself.
You gonna tell your mom that to her face?
I'll
No.
tell my mom to her
You
face
said
right
you
now.
said from 9 all the
What
way.
you
How old are
mean?
you right now? You said-
32, about to be 32 years
Not
old.
oh, we the same age. All right, so from
And-
9
and-
to 30, that's a
and
long
look,
time.
And look, you know that prepared me to do what I do now. I make moves, man. I make moves.
let's move to the next video. The one thing I wanted to say is people definitely thought that with the election of President Barack Obama that things were going to be better. People assumed that he was going to be the black president. So with this, can you play that third video, just the first 2 minutes?
Don't be
Yeah,
disappointed.
the third video.
You criticized Obama
Yes.
on a number of occasions.
Yes.
Now I'll be honest. As someone who grew up in in the U.S., I remember watching the old Chris Rock stand-up specials where he said there's never going to be a black president.
I remember that.
There's never even going to be a black vice president because the first thing that'll happen is some black guy is going to kill the president, and be a hero in prison because the vice president will then become the president. I was honestly surprised that in my lifetime there was a black president and a 2-term black president as that. And the one thing that I can say, and this is my own personal opinion, as I go through life and as I build my business and I do different types of things, the first thing I usually look for is what's the role model? Who's already doing what I want to do? How are they doing it? And let me somewhat emulate what they're doing and use them as a blueprint to where I want to go. And I don't think you could deny that having a black president is inspirational for black kids all around the world, not just America, to say, wow, someone who looks like us can have the highest job in the land, if not the world, when at one point we weren't even considered humans. People didn't even think we could read. We were bred like cattle, in terms to try to create the biggest slaves and so forth. To go from that to actually say, here's someone who actually did a job and even got reelected. You can't say that's not a role model.
I would say he's not a role model. A role model is someone whom you would like other African-American boys to aspire to be. When you look at President Barack Obama's political behavior in the White House towards African-Americans, I cannot in good conscience want any African-American boy to emulate the neglect that their president has shown for African-Americans. In fact, when you look at the black reality, each index of black progress has actually regressed since Obama has been in the White House. Dropout is higher, unemployment is worse, incarceration is higher, police brutality has almost went back to the days of Reconstruction, pre-Jim Crow. Mind you, he's done nothing about it. Okay, now I understand the argument. He's president for the United States of America. He's not just president of Black America. I understand. But here's the issue with that, Black. America is not a amalgamation of different ethnicities. America is a solid bowl. Okay. And in a solid bowl, you still have every vegetable maintaining its own uniqueness. A salad is not a soup. In a soup, you cut it all up and you don't know what's in this soup. But in a salad, everything maintains its identity. The Chinese,
All right, man. So Umar is basically saying that we shouldn't strive to be like Obama. I mean, he has a point.
What?
Obama's an anomaly. It's never gonna happen again. A black president.
Really?
Nah.
But that's what they said
Chalk-
about this one. It was like, we'll never get a black president.
Chalk
We
it.
ain't had a black
Probably take
president.
another 45 more.
Chalk
It
it.
happened.
He was a perfect storm. Chalk it. But I mean, okay, people were expecting Obama to really change the black community. Like, y'all gotta stop. Like, this is why certain people will never rise to the next level in life. And I might sound harsh, but you cannot look for Obama to save the black community.
Yeah, they look.
Obama can only do so much. He's already the president. His hands are tied. You know what I'm saying?
But at the end
and
of
we
the
can
day-
get into the invisible hand and all that. Obama, and like my dad, like my father gets mad about Obama didn't even help his own city of Chicago.
Well, look, I'll say this.
What do you expect?
I mean,
I don't know.
Dr.
What do you want? What do you want the man to do?
I would say this. Dr. Umar Johnson, for one, let me say that I don't always agree with what he says, but he does make some points that I actually do agree with.
Yeah.
So
Like?
for this video in particular, I think that the criticism about Barack Obama sometimes is, don't get me wrong, he did some great things, but did he do great things for black people in particular? No. He did things for particular groups such as LGBT, immigration, stuff like that. For black people, not so much. So I think what a lot of criticism comes from, particularly from black people, I think that they felt like they were left off the agenda, and for 8 years he preached as if we were going to be on the agenda, and we clearly were not for the entire 8 years. So that's my criticism for him. Should he have spoke up about police brutality? He spoke up for Sandy Hook in gun laws, but he didn't speak up for all these black men and black women that's being killed, state-sponsored murder. So
What I'll tell you is
it's not even about you looking for savior. No, it's not. Your hands are not tied. You can speak up. You can speak up.
Okay.
Like, can you implement change?
This is the
Okay,
president.
maybe
Not from that office. Not from.
Maybe not.
I always say.
from that chair.
Did gay marriage get passed under him?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, but that's from that office. There's
that
certain.
office.
Yeah,
And
it's you
and
basically
the
a
system,
puppet.
the system of white supremacy.
Come
that
on,
is
man.
not-
I think you a
Everything
puppet,
that
like-
was a priority on other
That's
agendas,
not
it got
happening. Let's
passed.
reality.
Yeah, and that's from.
Let's
that
come back to
office.
earth real quick.
You can't think of that office as being black just because there's a black man in it.
Exactly.
No, I'm saying.
And I think personally, I think Barack Obama is gonna do a lot more for the black community now that he's out of that office.
Facts.
And he's like a superstar now. He on vacation. He taking it easy because he had a rough, 8 years. He got some
Facts.
grades and everything, so he just chilling out. But when he come back, I think he gonna do something.
I think he was chilling out for a long time.
say more for
Juan want to say
for black
something.
people. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Like, if I could chime in right there. Also, if you watch that whole video, I don't really rock with Dr. Umar Johnson, but I'm agreeing with the guys right now because at the end of the day, yeah, we're mad that he didn't do this, he didn't do that, but we don't have a single candidate out there that exists that we support financially from their beginning to their end. At the end of the day, it was the LGBT that financed Obama back in Chicago.
Right.
So of course he's going to create legislation.
So
that
black people didn't finance
he
him?
benefited from their dollar. No, that's fact. If you don't put money up,
No, he definitely did. Barack Obama. Did he finance? Jay-Z financed him.
Here you go with the No, man.
But
we
you
didn't finance him.
But you know what? I feel like, okay, I love President Barack Obama. I think he did an excellent job as a president. But I will say for his last year, I really wish he would have just been completely unapologetically black.
Has some audacity. Trump got some.
For his last.
You want to get shot? Though?
But you know what? but for his very last year, I just wish he would have just balled out. But you know what's so funny about the whole Trump election, and that's talking about black leadership and black mindset. Them same quote unquote middle America or lower class, America out there in Montana, they were the ones going and voting.
Yeah.
Where were we at? Right. We didn't show up to the polls.
We showed up all 8 years.
We did not show up to the polls.
And see,
We helped get him in
the problem with wanting Obama to say something like, first it has to start with us as a people, your mindset as a person. ourselves before we want Obama or anybody else to like speak on our behalf. Because what is that gonna do?
I think at the end of the day, the black people as a whole, we are a very weak people. And I think that's really,
wow.
that's really what it comes down to.
I don't think
like
so.
collectively, we weak as shit. Like, and that's just is what it is.
got
People
galvanized
do to you what you allow, and at the end of the day, we allow a lot of shit. So like, I mean,
we
it
got
just
very,
ain't.
we got very few of us
Wowzers.
that's really gonna like, really gonna like step out here and really say some stuff. Like,
I'm not even trying to create like a race war or anything like that. But at the end of the day, like. People do to you what you allow. So if you wasn't so meek and fragile, then
you got a second
shit
class,
wouldn't happen.
you got a second, third class, fourth class citizen mindset. You're gonna get treated like that for your whole life.
It's a divide and conquer.
But to even talk to you, you know, we have to start thinking about generations, right?
Right.
So if I break the generational curse and I set up my kids with life insurance and whatso have you, and they understand the mindset and they pass it on, by the time I get to the third generation of my legacy, they should be good.
But you know what legacies is being passed and what cycle? A cycle of brokenness, a cycle of poverty, a cycle of being miseducated or no education at all. So these are the cycles that we're dealing with. And once these kids get to 17, 18, we like, shit, too late.
Yo, I just thought
And then they have kids.
a cycle of brokenness and wokeness.
Man, I do know some affluent black families personally. Like
Me too. I know some out here.
You know,
Broken woke.
you know, it had to start somewhere. You know,
Broken
it had to start
everything.
somewhere. Unfortunately, in the black community, it's not starting nowhere, man. We're the ones that's had to break the curse. You know what I'm saying? So it starts with us, and it's gonna have to go down from there.
And people want
But y'all ain't want to help the kids though.
That's what I'm saying. So stop saying it starts with us. Like y'all don't want to
I'm
help.
with y'all because y'all ain't want to help the kids.
What about their
but
parents?
You got one foot in and one foot out. Just
I don't
stop.
have no kids. I ain't got no kids.
It
I
don't
ain't got no
matter.
kids.
You gotta.
Hey, I ain't got no kids, man.
Responsibility to everybody. Everybody that looks like you.
No. But Juan said it. But Juan already said it, and I agree with his point about when you poor. Generally, you got a poor mindset, and I can't rock with you because you're not even trying to be receptive to
they're not
the
trying to
constructive
they're not trying to hear
criticism.
nothing.
And at the end of the day, no shade. I'm trying to do my own hustle. I got my own life issues to deal with.
Well, I'm
I
happy
can't
ain't
be
nobody
going
give up on
individually
me.
struggle.
I'm
Cause
sorry.
let me tell-
When everybody say
I
that,
can't.
we
I
all
can't.
gonna individually struggle, man. And then when you get in the jam, when you was talking about your own hustle, and then somebody can help you out, they gonna say the same thing you was saying. I'm trying to do my own hustle. I'm worried
But
about
let me
myself.
tell you
I've
this.
tried.
So,
I have tried, and people be out here robbing and doing all this extra stuff, and it's like, honestly,
White people
Right, so
rob.
they do, but they didn't rob me. So right now, I'm
You don't
upset.
know who robbed you. You
Niggas
don't
be
know who
robbing,
robbed
man.
you.
No.
Niggas.
They do rob. They do rob, and I'm not saying everybody robs, but what I'm saying is, if I'm trying to, if I know that my community needs forward progression, and I'm trying to be positive, it requires a certain mindset. Certain people are going to get it. Certain people are not going to get it. The people who get it, they're going to be able to move forward and create a better opportunity for the next generation to come. The people who don't get it, you're going to get left behind.
So you want to have a group? You want to have a group
Katrina, I
kumbaya with the
agree.
people that get it, and so that's what black elitism is. People want to lock arms.
Listen,
with,
it's not
No.
intentional. It's not intentional.
And you want to leave all the others, leave them alone because they got
No.
problems.
You
Like,
talk to
you don't get
everybody-
it.
talk
You
to
don't get
everybody
it.
the same way.
Yes.
Now either they get it or they
Don't.
don't. If
So
they
what
don't
are you
get
doing to help
can't
them
fuck
get
with
it?
you. Like,
I
period.
can't
I'm not
force
fucking
you to
with
get it.
I think
I'm not
I
fucking
think
with you
I
at all.
agree with both sides a
can't.
little bit, but I
Peace.
think y'all a little bit too
Y'all
exact.
disposable. Like that's not helping.
Y'all, I think this side is a little bit too exact with cutting people off.
Hey,
Like,
I'm
if y'all
cutthroat.
don't
I'm
get
from
it
I'm
the
from
first
Cleveland,
time-
baby. I'm from Cleveland, baby. It's Cutthroat
If y'all
City,
like
baby.
y'all don't get it the first time, I'm out, man. Give them
No, it ain't the first time.
maybe 3.
Like if you my family, I might be able to really help.
And
But
see, that's what black people do.
It's the
If
Cleveland
not
in me,
family,
baby.
Then it's like, well,
And that's what I'm saying.
No,
we
but
need
I-
we
I'm
need to think
sorry,
we
but
need to
listen.
embrace this concept of extended family.
No,
and
but
then
I've
we'll be
been
straight.
on the trenches. I've been down there in Southeast. I've been on Malcolm X Avenue. I've been in Berry Farms. I've been to Petey Green, and I was able to reach some, but not the majority. And I mean, there's nothing else I can do. If you listen. It just come down to a certain mindset. We got to stop blaming the system, stop blaming the man.
what do you mean? Stop blaming
And-
the system. Has the system stopped being
It's not even
leaving an
It's not
impact?
even always the parent. Like even if you got parents.
Let's
that's
not
fucked
act
up-
like the
look,
system is
Shante,
not there.
Even if you got
It's more
parents
on
that's
us,
fucked
though.
up, there are certain kids that just got it and they gonna still excel in life and still do their
Exactly.
thing. It's all on the individual. At the end of the day, we are all free agents. We are all individual.
That's not true.
people.
Well, shit.
We are
Luckily,
all,
nobody gave
no,
up on me because I was a WIC kid. I was a welfare kid. I was a second.
Yeah, but you gotta. You're strong. But you got the
Luckily,
right.
somebody sold into
had the
me
right
and then
mindset,
wasn't
though.
like, oh, well, shit.
But you
don't
gotta.
get it.
But you're your own person. You made your own decisions. You made decisions
It's
to
because
bust a
somebody
move.
sold into me though and showed me that. It
And you were
was other things.
receptive, Shantae.
Yeah,
and you were
somebody
receptive.
who
I'm
was
saying
outside at
kids
some
act
point.
out of they need attention and they need something. is something going on at home. So instead of people being disposable and being like dismissive on people's kids' issues, people actually need to sew into these kids instead of being like, well, if you don't get it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, then shit.
It's exhausting.
The police. No, I'm saying, but at the end of the day, it's exhausting. But that doesn't mean give up.
Yeah,
if
you
give
can't
up,
be so exact with.
then
like,
that's
we
when
just
things
cutting
happen.
everybody.
Like you get robbed.
But y'all, what you're
don't
saying
complain.
is not realistic. People have their own life. People got their own husbands, their own kids, their own financial situations. I'm out here struggling too. So you think I really got enough patience and finance to help you, and you don't even want to understand what I'm saying? I got my own issues.
Hey man, I'm sorry. At the end of the day,
I got
I'm
my
not.
own issues.
I'm not here to save the world. At the end of the day, I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm not saving nothing, man.
Yo,
You know
man,
what
we
I'm
all
saying?
gonna keep struggling if we
You know what
keep
I'm
thinking
saying?
about
I'ma
this
talk to you-
individual.
I'ma talk to
like
you a
y'all
couple
talking about
times.
No, but
individuality.
why
If
should
you
I
don't
put
get
my
it,
why
if
should
you
I
don't-
put
either
my
you get it-
livelihood at
Black
risk?
people selfish.
Why should I put my
Either you
livelihood
get it
at
or you
risk?
don't, man.
No,
You
it
get
ain't.
it
It
or you
ain't
don't.
selfish. Why should I put my livelihood at risk when you're not gonna get it?
But you gonna go buy a Gucci belt though.
Oh, I don't buy no Gucci, but I'm frugal friendly. I'm frugal friendly over here.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm talking about.
Child, I do coupons and sales.
I'm not saying you personally.
Talking about niggar
But
mentality.
We gotta go.
Niggar.
So Shantae, we gotta go. So any conclusion thoughts? And Shantae, tell us where they can find us at.
Oh, guys, make sure you tweet us at TBJ_nitty-gritty and also add our Facebook page, The Nitty Gritty Show, and also on Instagram, The Nitty Gritty Show.
Okay, and Juan, we'll let you have the last comment. Go ahead.
I just want to say this as we close. When I went to Iraq, I only thought about a few people when I was there. I thought about my children. Because when I was there fighting, that's what helped me get through the firefights. When I was getting shot at, that's what kept me sane, my kids. I didn't go there to save all America. I just went out there to save Amira and Juan. But as a result, I
You went to war to do
benefited all of
that?
America. That's why I signed up, was to take care of my children.
All right, we gotta close
Lord
out.
have mercy.
Yeah, this was a good show.
Go get on that.
Lord
My name
have
is.
mercy.
I'm your girl, Katniss. Tay.
I'm Tay Jordan.
Juan.
Juan, go ahead, man.
J.D. Costa.
Hey, man, thank you to our special guest, Lawrence, for coming out, and also Worldwide Rob. We appreciate you guys for coming.
we do.
And,
We do. It was a good topic today.
Yeah, add me on Facebook. We can get some controversy going. That's what I
Yes,
do,
let's
man.
continue
Rob
the
Parks
conversation
Jr.
at
on Facebook,
home.
a bunch of controversy, but no solutions.
Ooh.
Hey,
Tay
man.
All
Jordan.
right, thanks. Bye.
Save the world, baby.
Tay bugging. She bugging.